So I'm going to do some Square-1 example solves. I'll do 5. And I'm also going to go through tracing and reference shapes. So if you're still confused about CSP, hopefully this will help. I'm not very good at explaining, but I'll give it a shot. So one thing to notice about my tracing is that it's kind of weird. And the reference shapes I use have yellow top, white bottom, but I solve white top, yellow bottom. This doesn't change any of the parity or any of the tracing really, unless you go to the the square shapes. That will change it, but those aren't that common, and you get used to it pretty easily. At least I did. Hopefully you will too. So yeah, let's get started. Alright, so to start off we have paw, barrel. So for every shape I start with orange, yellow for edges, bottom two, so it goes clockwise: orange, green, red, blue, orange, green, red, blue. So for this shape, and the same for corners actually, so it's orange, green, red, blue. So I start with orange, green, red, blue, orange, going in that order. The same for bottom: orange, green, red, blue, orange. Alright, so I start tracing. So the edge that corresponds to yellow, orange for this shape is already solved, so I move on to this one. So that wants to go here, so that's 1, that wants to go here, 2, 3, 4. So that solves this edge, the green, yellow edge. So I move on to the green. I noticed that this already solved too, so I move on to the blue, yellow edge, and that just swaps there. So that's really 5. Let me try this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So then move on to corners. So I start with this corner. So I start with this group of 3 for the shape, and then this group of 3 for the edges. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 for each. Oh yeah. So I don't normally do that. What I normally do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I keep counting from edges to corners, and then so it's easy for me to remember one number than 2. So if you want to memorize 2 numbers, the way you do it is both are even or both are odd. Then you have an even number in total. You do like your standard alg, I guess. And then if one's odd and one's even, or one's even and one's odd, then you do the opposite. But I keep counting up, so I only memorize one number. So I know I have even, which is just the standard alg, so it's just 2 slices kite scallop. So what I probably do in this case is do a y2 and do this, and then CO, EO. I notice I have headlights here and no headlights here, so I know I have opposite adjacent. So then this is not a very pretty case. I know I'm going to get an O perm and W perm, which is not fun, but whatever, kind of have to deal with it. And then for this, I would try to force 2 U perms, so I do adjacent here, and then I know I get a U perm. And then this is a bad one, so just opposite, adjacent. Yeah, I'm bad at explaining it. Alright, so go to the next one. Alright, so here we have a fist and shield as reference shapes. So for fist, I start with this 2 group here, and same for corners, start with the 2 group and going clockwise. And then for shield, I start with this group of 2 edges, green, and then start with this corner and going counterclockwise. So I'll start tracing. So the one that corresponds to yellow, orange, and this is yellow, red. So that goes here. That's 1, 2. So that's already solved. So we move on to this one. 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 because this one's already solved. And then this one's already solved, so move on to this one. 6. So that's already solved that too. And 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10. So for fist shield shapes, no matter what fist you have, you'll form paw for both of them. So I kind of forgot what we had. So we have 10. Okay, so we will form. So for even, you want to form the paw in the back. So if it was even, you do it like this. So you get through the shape, and you form the paw in the back like that. But if it was odd, you form it in the front. like this. So it's the same for its flip too. It's one of the easier ones, I think. So let's do the shape. And then we have CO and EO. So I see that these corners are solved. So we won't have any permutation on the bottom, and the headlights on top. So we do J-perm on top. Wait, there we go. So I see it adjacent, and then this weird thing here. So I know if I misalign here and do the alg, I'll get adjacent, adjacent. But if I don't misalign it, I'll get opposite adjacent, which isn't that bad. But compared to adjacent, adjacent, it's a lot worse. So I misalign it. Let's break up this block and get adjacent, adjacent. Yeah, that's solved. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, so here for the scramble we have this 4 group, and this 2, and then this group of 2 right here. So the shape can be kind of weird because there can be this case, there can be this case, right, where there's the 4 and then a 2. It's 4 or 2 clockwise, or it can be like this, where it's 2, 4 going clockwise. So those two have opposite parity. The way I remember it is just the way I told you. It's 4 then 2 going clockwise with just one corner splitting the 2. And if it was going the other way, 4 then 2 counterclockwise, then it's the opposite. So for the shape, I start with this group of 4. Tracing with this group of 4 on top. And then for the bottom, I would start with this. This edge, so it's like, you see green, orange, green, red, blue, and then I start for the bottom, I go orange, green, red, blue, if that makes any sense. It kind of makes sense if you look at it like that, yeah. And then for corners, the corner I start with is on the bottom for the top layer, for the yellow corners. So orange, green, red, blue, and then corners is the same as scallop, orange, green, red, blue. So let's start tracing. So then we have this green, yellow, green, white piece, which you go here. So that's 1, 2, 3. So that's solved. So we move on to this one. And notice how the yellow, the 2 white edges are on top. So it goes here. 5. Wait, okay, I lost my count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6. So that solves all the edges. So that's 6. And I go to the corners. So I start with this corner, the one that's clockwise to this group of 2. So 7, 8, 9. So that's solved. So we move on to this one. 10, 11, 12. So we have even. Let me double check very quickly. Yeah, so 12. So for this one, you just normally go to scallop, like that. If it was odd, what you would do is go to shield, which I'm not very good at, but I'll give it a shot here. Yeah, like that. So for odd, you'd go to shield like this. Or if you're not good at it like I am, you can just go to scallop and do that. Switch the parity. And if it was the other one where it goes 4 to counterclockwise, so it goes that way instead, they're flipped. And yeah, it's kind of confusing, but it gets easier when the more you practice. So let's do this off. So we have even, so you just don't scallop like normally. And then I notice here we have 1 slice OBL, which got lucky with that. And then we have headlights here, and this block, which I know when you preserve, looking at this, is an adjacent color, so I know you're going to get adjacent, because this is, because I know doing a J-perm on this will get you adjacent, and doing a J-perm on this, preserving the blocks will get you adjacent. And then just do adjacent. Canceling the flip. Yeah, it's pretty easy to solve. So here we have this group of 4 in this L shape, and this pair on the bottom. So for the pair on the bottom, like we had the last scramble, it's all the same. This is going to be all the same for every one of the shapes, no matter what you have on top. Like what you traced to, it's going to be the same. It's like C is the same as it was last time. Green, or orange, green, and then the corner you start with on top is clockwise to it. So for this shape, I'd start with this group of 4 for these edges, and start with this corner for the top layer and corners. Well, I start here, but then it goes there. Yeah, if that makes any sense. So then let's start tracing. So this one used to go here, because notice how like it goes red, blue, clockwise on the top layer. So for the white piece at least. So then there, 1, 2. So that's solved. So we move on to this one. 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 for edges because this one's already solved. We get 2 cycle breaks, which makes sense. And then this one's already solved. This corner's already solved. So we move on to this one. 6, 7, 8, which is solved. And this one's already solved. So we move on to this one. That's 9 because these two need to be swapped. Let me double check. Okay, yeah. So for this shape, for both even and odd, you go to paw, or at least I do to make it easy. It's easier for me to do that. So for even, so if I got even, what I would do is use this L to make the paw on this. So see, I would bring this up to match up with that if it was even. But since we have odd, you'd use this L. If that makes sense. So even, you use the right L, odd, use the left L. And it's flipped for the bottom. So like if I had it on the bottom, I had traced even, I would use, well, I guess, yeah, right L, left L, it's the same. Right L, left L. Huh, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. Okay, so, yeah, so we traced odd. So what I would do is do a form bottom, and you do that. Just do paw. And notice that this corner is going to be solved because this block stays the same. Even though it's not 2gen, these two corners will be preserved. So I'm going to do CO and EO, so I know I have headlights. So I'll have J perm. So here. And I know that preserving this block, these two blocks here, will get me adjacent. And then this one will give me either opposite or adjacent. So if I do this, I'll get opposite, which, okay, yeah. So if I split up the block here, it would give me opposite because I preserve this here. If that makes sense. Yeah. So if I break up the block like that instead of the other way, I get adjacent. It's much better than opposite adjacent. In the UF. Yeah. Alright, so this one we have a star shape. This one's pretty easy because if we want to switch to parity, all you have to do is do a 2. It's pretty nice. So then what I'm going to do for this shape is it starts with this reference shape, so you can see that the yellow's all on top and white's all on bottom, and the corners are all yellow on the left and all white on the right, and it still goes in the same order. Even though you don't select the matching blocks like you do in other reference shapes, it still goes in the same order, so it goes orange, green, green, red, red, blue, blue, yellow, blue, orange. And same for the right. So for this shape, I do something kind of weird where I start with the white edges. I wouldn't recommend doing that because it's kind of weird. It makes it harder to move on. The reason I did that is because it's right in front of me, and it was one of the first ones I learned, so I wasn't like too confident in my ability to learn it, so I just stuck with that. And yeah, if you're still learning it, I'll start with this edge, not this edge, but since I'm doing this edge, I'll show you that. So, did I miss Scramble? Good. Hold on. Okay, here we go. You have the right Scramble. Yeah. Okay. So let's start tracing. So the first one's the white orange edge goes here, and that solves that. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. So I'm going to start with this corner, the white, orange, green corner. I forgot what I have for edges already. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So then 5, 6. So I have 6. Because these two corners are solved, these two corners are solved, and this corner is solved. So that's pretty easy corners. So for this shape, if you have even, you slice this to make a shield. If you have odd, what you could do is do this and then do shield, or you could go to scallop and solve like that. But for this, since we have even, I'm just gonna do this. And CO, EO, so I know I have headlights here, which makes it So I have J perm, J perm. So then I have T perm, R perm. So to preserve this block, what I do is misalign by 1, but if I know if I'm misaligned by this by 1 as well, so I keep both of them misaligned, I'll have good U perms. See? So now I just do the U perm and cancel the middle slice flip. And it's done. Yeah. So I guess that would be it for now. Hopefully these are helpful. I'm kind of bad at explaining it, but yeah, if you're still learning out CSP, hopefully this helped you out. And yeah, if you want any more, let me know in the future. If you want any more in the future, let me know. Okay. Right, see ya.